Hey guys, Captain Amazing here, and today I want to talk about Datacrons, so let's jump into it. So if we look at these latest Datacron sets, what I've noticed from people who've been playing the even the videos that are more popular, the responses from them, Reddit, the forums, people are not upset about these Datacrons. They're engaging in it. They're farming them. they're engaging more in conquest for them. People are talking about what's the best Datacron. Is it First Order SF TIE Pilot? Is which of the Gungans do you want? Do you want Jar Jar, Boss Nass? The is the SLKR Datacron good enough? Should you raise relics for First Order SF TIE Pilot? Do you want Third Sister? Do you want Ninth Sister? Padme, how it just like elevates the JMK team. A lot of different things that people are talking about, but no one is talking about why these Datacrons are outrageous, or why they're ruining the game, or why we're not going to farm them or anything like that. And I'll tell you why, and what the biggest difference is of these sets compared to the prior sets. And it's 100% stats. So what I noticed in those earlier sets was no one was upset about level 9 Datacrons. No one's upset about level 6 or even the level 3s. People, I think, enjoy these abilities because they change the meta. They're approachable to farm, and they elevate older sets and characters, and it makes things refreshed. And that's kind of what these Datacrons were supposed to do. Was they're supposed to be able to change the meta and also give CG another way to monetize this game. But what they missed the mark on prior was these stats, because these stats, they can be min-maxed, and they have definitely improved them, and I'll tell you why as well. So back at the sets that were just absolutely infuriating in the past was back when we had like these these thick crons, and they had defense as the stats, and there was something like 400% or close to 500% defense with those thick crons, and it was just like, how do we get through these? How do we fight these? And it was truly the Krakens and those mega whales that were capitalizing on it, unless you got like really lucky with some rolls. And that's because it takes a lot to re-roll all these stats, and there's so much variation, and it's hard to get those perfect rolls. And those Krakens who are just like swiping the credit card, paying the money, and at the top levels of GAC, how do you even try to compare? When you look at .gg, we can't really look at the stats at the same ways that we can look at these level 9s, these level 6s, and these level 3s. And it wasn't even a fresh change of the meta. It was just this is going to infuriate you because this is such a thick cron. And even before that, a worse set was those Lord Vader sets with dodge. And everyone remembers dodge crons, and everyone was infuriated because it just doesn't feel good. Who likes to just whiff, 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 whiff? No one likes dodge crons. And it was 100% these stats, and people maximizing stats to hit one stat, and those Krakens and mega whales just having all those all those perfectly rolled Datacrons that made TW and Grand Arena just untenable, unfun. But when you started adding in good level 9s, good level 6s, augmenting and changing the meta, then people start engaging in them. They start discussing it. They start farming them, and it stops being, why are these so horrible, and more of like, hey, which should we get? How do we get this? What's the best? What's the best counters? And if you're looking at what videos are really popular right now, it's Datacron videos are pretty popular, and people are engaging them because they're engaging in Datacrons, because farming a level 9 Datacron is approachable. Farming a level 6 ability is approachable. But if I sat here and I told you, hey guys, you have to roll 400% defense on this Datacron if you want it to be good, no one's going to do that except for those mega whales, and they're going to do it anyways because they're comfortable spending thousands and thousands of dollars to be the top of the game, which I would say is not great for the game, and it may make them money in the short term, but in the long run, that's how you turn away players. So what they're doing right now is good. I would say good, and it's moving towards great, because these stats aren't crazy. Like, offense is good, crit damage is good, armor penetration is the best here, crit avoidance is good, and if you see these stat levels, they're not bad. So the armor penetration is a lot, but it's not the most craziest thing in the world. If you have like all maxed armor penetration, it doesn't mean you automatically win, or your team is unbeatable. But these level 9s, these level 6s, these level 3s, they can be predicted. We can look at them and say, hey, these are the counters for them, or these are the counters for that. Same thing, like if we have a third sister with their good level 6, where they stack offense and they attack out of turn and do bonus damage, and then put a bunch of exposes out, we can predict, hey, what can beat that? What's good for that? Same thing, like the first, let's see, SOKR, or the first order SF TIE pilot. We can test, we can look at the stats, we can look and see what's going to counter those and predict it, and then change our offense or our defense. But if we have to change, what's going to counter 80-90% dodge, okay, now we have to roll a bunch of accuracy crons and have a bunch of accuracy arrows. That's not fun. No one's going to engage with that, and we're just going to say, okay, let's just not engage in it that much until we deal away with this cron, and it just kind of like times out. And then if it happens enough, then people stop engaging with Datacrons. They stop getting motivated, they stop playing GAC, then they stop logging in as much, and then they quit the game. So I'm sure there's tons of players out there that quit the game when these first came out, and when dodge crons came out, and the thick crons with the defense came out, because they're just like, I'm not going to spend thousands of dollars every few months to get the best Datacrons so I can compete in this game. But these Datacrons are approachable. I'm a I would say late game player. I have a good Inquisitor's Cron. Once TW is over, and hopefully if we win, I'll re-roll this into a third sister cron, because I don't think 7th is that great. But this level 6 is all that's important. If you just have this level 6, fantastic cron, really elevates this team, and then it gives me immediate power that was approachable. I just had to do a few rerolls, and bam, it was there. Same thing, first order, we have the thick cron. Same thing with that Inquisitor's cron, has the thick cron. The stats don't matter as much. It's always great to get something, but everything here is pretty good. I have the good level 6, and I have an SOKR cron for level 9. Pretty good cron. I don't have a first order SF TIE pilot, so I'm not going to farm that one, even though it is the superior Datacron. I'm just not going to do it. But overall, like, excellent Datacrons, and I'm just rolling a bunch of thick crons so I can apply them on my teams. Same things, these BAM ones, Holocrons, Raycrons, great Datacrons. No one's upset about it. No one's saying like, hey, this is outrageous, this is unfair, this is so unapproachable, how are we going to do it? No, it's just, it changes the meta. Like, this elevated Ray, this elevated SOKR, this elevated Inquisitors. And if we look, why is it smart that CG is doing this? Like, this was a Lightspeed bundle GL, this was a Lightspeed bundle GL. So not only is it an approachable system to farm Datacrons, but also it's targeting those players who bought the Lightspeed bundles, which are recently infused a bunch of cash to CG. So overall, this is, I think, an excellent marketing way forward for CG, for Datacrons. It's really changing what people are thinking about them, I think. But that's just from what I'm seeing, my observations of the community. I want to know, what do you guys think of Datacrons? Do you continue to hate them? Are you engaging with them? Are you suddenly finding yourself saying like, I really need to farm this Datacron, I really need this, I really want that, and you're actually going out there and farming them? Or are you still not engaging with them, and you're just not, you don't care if it elevates your team or if it's approachable, or you just don't want to farm them because it's not something that you're willing to do? So let me know. I say I think this is a good thing. I think it's great for the game that they're at least changing towards this pathway and trying to stay away from those stats that just like infuriate us with crazy levels. And then they're focusing more on good level 3s, 6s, and 9s that we can predict what the meta is and changes the meta and augments characters and teams. And it just overall is a good way to refresh what's happening at endgame. So let me know in the comments. Other than that, if you like my content, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Take care.